everyone. My name's Fran Dennett, and I'm going to give you a demonstration on how to take cuttings from geraniums or pelargoniums that you have overwintered in your house. I overwinter mine under the lights. So last fall I potted these up, and these are my mother plants from which I will take cuttings. And what they look like this. So the first thing I do is remove any of these leaves that are yellow, misshapen, dried up, whatever. Also remove any signs of blossoms. So usually right in the tip, sometimes you'll see a bud coming out. I remove that too because it takes too much energy from a plant to make new roots as well as make new flowers. So this is what a plant would look like, and from that I will take cuttings. So I also have this other one, and I wanted to show you this plant. Sometimes you have branches that die for who knows what, for what reason. That's about this. Those are just pruned off. Again, like I said, any of the leaves that aren't in good shape, and that's ready to take cuttings. So I don't take cutting, with my secateurs I do not use to take cuttings. It crushes the tissue. But what I have is a scalpel that was from my high school anatomy class, very sharp. So I go in and I take a cutting longer than I needed, probably into where it's starting to form bark. But don't worry, new roots will come out. And that's about all I take from that geranium. And this one, I think I'd go back here. Sometimes it's if they're old, it's an opportunity to rejuvenate your plant. Sometimes they're too small. You need one that it's at least going to be 3 inches when you plant it, or 3 to 4 inches. So if it's not that length, so I would read this one here. I'd take that back to there. As long as you're doing it. I'll take this one and cut that off there. This is garbage. So these I will fertilize and put back under my lights. So then you're left with all of these cuttings. Reduce each cutting so you've got 3 leaves or less. This is all compost. That coming off, it's coming off, that's coming off. The plant just doesn't have the root system. That's why you're taking the leaves off. So with the cutters, or the scalpel, I will then add a leaf node where it's fairly green. I will make a diagonal cut through the leaf node. And if it's got some of the hardened tissue or barky-like things, I just take my scalpel, and I just break up that bark. It'll almost peel right off. Never, if there's a piece of stem like this with it's above the leaf node, I go back, shorten it, and go through the leaf node on a diagonal, always on a diagonal. This was shown to us by when I was in Montreal, we had a speaker from a nursery in Oka, and it was a Dutch man, and this is how he made his cuttings that he sold in his greenhouse. So after that, I've got one, two, three, 4, 5, 6 potential plants that will grow for next summer, and I basically just take that and stick it in some soil. Now these cuttings I took last week, and they're in one of these plastic things you get pastries in at the store. Damp soil, cover it, put it in, and I stick it on bottom heat. I have a heating pad that's preset to 70 degrees. It should have roots on in 2 or 3 weeks. And that's all there's to it. Good luck. And next summer I'll have plants for my containers and to give to my 2 daughters for their containers.